Hi, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is your wealth reading. I am going to be doing wealth readings on Patreon, but I am introducing them right here on YouTube. So, thanks to those of you who are subscribing and who are connecting through YouTube. And if you like the content and if you prefer to have this kind of content, I will be doing it on Patreon. So we'll go ahead and get started. This is for my fire signs. Fire signs. I hope everything is going well. So what I'm going to do is just do a straight read with the weight deck, just so that we can know what's happening in relationship to wealth. So I'm just going to tap in here. Thank you for your patience. Oh boy. I'm just shuffling down here and it's doing some different kinds of things. All right, fire signs. I'm already expecting something different from this reading, okay? All right, let's see what's going on with you. Let's see what's going on with you. Again, this is about wealth. It's not only about wealth, it's also about value, your values, prosperity, abundance, anything related to that. All right, fire signs. We've got a chariot right out off the bat. That's good news. That means things look like they're moving and they're moving in a positive direction. The chariot's image, and I'll show it to you here, has the two horses. And so the idea is that everything is in alignment. Anything that was still in a 2D or a 3D for you, whatever you were dealing with, where there felt like some kind of separation between you and your money or you and your ability to make it, has lined up, or it looks like it is from the first card. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign, because that's what a lot of people are dealing with when they are addressing issues of money and prosperity. Sometimes you have this dualistic view or this dualistic concept going on in your head. And when that happens, or if you have like subconscious leanings or subconscious fears, subconscious doubt, stuff like that, that will cause a problem to exist, and it will cause you not to be able to manifest in the way that you want to manifest. Okay. So I have the tower here, which is kind of curious to me, considering we have the chariot at the beginning. The chariot to me represents movement. The tower means that there's some catastrophe or conundrum or some kind of outside influence that has stopped a process for you. Fire signs, maybe you were headed in one direction and now all of a sudden you're headed in a very different direction. You've got the Seven of Cups here, which tells me that there are other opportunities coming your way, or either there's some choices that you have to make. Okay, the Seven of Cups is unlike the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is like good luck. Seven of Cups is kind of like that, but you get everything. Instead of getting all the things that you ever wanted in life, you get what you want and some more. It's going to be some picking and choosing that has to happen now, which is going to require you to use some level of discernment. You're going to have to use some discernment. Okay, so we have the moon. Lots of major arcana cards for you, which means that this represents a significant part of your life, fire signs. Or it could represent a significant change or transition. Okay. But I'm getting here with the moon coming in behind the Seven of Cups that there may be some further investigation that you want to do on the subconscious level, so that you're not making choices that are counterproductive or counterintuitive. And so you want to do that work. You'll want to do that work. That work is usually shadow work. It's normally shadow work. When you get the moon, you're probably dealing with shadow work. What is shadow work? Because people always talk about shadow work. What does that exactly mean? Shadow work is anything that is things that are hidden, things that are in the subconscious, things that are not in your conscious mind. Um, it's subtle influences, or it's hidden thoughts that are structuring your experience that you have to dig into a little bit because you're probably not paying attention to those things. You want to pay attention to your dreams, fire signs, during this time, especially if the dream has something related to something of a financial nature. Like, pay attention to I'm gonna say the characters in the dream, or the situations in the dream. If it's something related to work, or something related to a opportunity that you want, and you want to pay attention to what those symbols are in the dream, because that may give you a clue as to what you're still working on, or what you are subconsciously thinking or feeling, or imagining too. Because sometimes it's a fear, especially if it's a fear, then it could be something that you're imagining. All right, so we got a Three of Pentacles here, which is a good sign. What that means to me is that you are probably connecting to the right people, or making the right connections to increase wealth. That means that your collaborations, your networks, and it possibly could even be people around you that you can seek for advice about your finances, your portfolio, about ideas that you have that you want to present to make money, stuff like that. So that's a really good thing. So even though you're getting this tower, or this tower experience has kind of changed the course for you, that's a good thing. The tower is not always bad. Sometimes it's a good thing, but it is definitely bringing to the surface for you some of the choices that you could make, but some of them, again, have to do with some kind of subconscious thing that's happening. So that's why you want to be watchful, because sometimes it'll bring up something like, oh, something that everything that glitters isn't gold, is not. But if you have some kind of unfinished business, shadow work business, things that are hidden within you that you can't that are present in these things, then you want to be mindful, because you may end up choosing something just because, I don't know, choosing something just because of the money, or choosing something because it looks flashy, but in the long run, it's not going to be beneficial to you. It's stuff like that. And see, your subconscious, anything that's unfinished business in your subconscious, will bring those things right to you, and you'll pick them, and then you'll be like, dang, I shouldn't have done that. But it's fine. You'll get the lesson and you'll move on anyway. But the point is, if you can avoid it, why not avoid it? All right, so we've got the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups coming in together next. All right, so the Ten of Swords tells me that you've kind of been through the ringer. You've tried some things and they have not worked. Okay. And the reason for that is because of this kind of, pie in the sky dream world experience that you're in. That's represented by the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a hopeless romantic. And so when you're thinking about it, and when you're thinking about that card in relationship to finances and wealth, it can bring up like you have this really idealistic view of what you want to have happen, but that's not reality. Or it can bring up that all that glitters is not gold type thing. So right now, because of everything that's happened, you just want to kind of chill with that, and you want to do the shadow work. Okay? You want to do the shadow work. I don't want you to fall for something. I don't want you to fall for the okie doke. That's basically what I'm saying to you, fire signs. I wouldn't want you to fall for the okie doke. What it looks like to me is that could happen. And it could happen based on the fact that there's something lying in your subconscious about desire. This is about something you desire. It's something you desire. It's a secret desire, or it could be a guilty pleasure, or it could be, over aggrandized view of what it is that you think that you want, or like you have an ideal around what it is that you want, but that ideal is tied to a loss, a lack. That's what it is. That's what it is, fire signs. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. All right. So let's go back into this a little bit. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So there's something that you really want, fire signs. It's something that you really desire. It's a deep desire for you. You have really been working at it hard. You have been getting kicked in the pants over it over and over and over again. And it is because of this in you and this in you. And what you have to do is unpack it. You got to start unpacking that. And that's a part of this. Okay, you got to start unpacking it. And basically what it is like, yeah, sometimes we grow up with deep desires because of what we didn't have as children. If anybody is grown up poor, or if you grew up really wanting something and never being able to have it, or you had the experience as a child where people didn't give you what you wanted sometimes, and you got the idea that you didn't deserve it. It can come from any or all of that. Now, all of that is fair game for what we're talking about right here. And so then what happens is you get super focused on getting that thing that you didn't get when you were a kid. But what you have to realize is that your motivation is tied to an idea of lack. It's tied to when you didn't have something. And so it's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but sometimes you have to unpack why it is that you want it. And if it is linked to a subconscious idea that is related to lack, or is related to an impoverished mindset or a poverty mindset, or something like that, then when these things are presented to you, could be opportunities, could be cash, could be ways to make money, could be opportunities or ways to make money is what we're talking about. Then you'll go for the thing that's attached to the dream, that's attached to the lack, and you won't be thinking at all about the nuts and bolts of it. And knowing the nuts and bolts, or knowing the details about it, is what will trip you up. You have to know what you're getting into logically, not emotionally. See, cups, moon is water. Not the emotional attachment, because at the end of the day, it's what happens on the ground. And that's why people experience a lot of disappointment. They experience a lot of disappointment because they walk around with these desire. Oh, I want. Then you get it and you realize that it isn't all that it's cracked up to be. It never is. Nothing is ever perfect. Nothing is perfect. So whatever it is that you imagine something to be might not turn out to be what you thought. And so when you approach this next step, or when you are approaching your next opportunity to bring wealth into your life, you don't want to bring with it more feelings about lack and poverty and less, because what will happen is, I got to get more. And then you end up on that rat race. And that rat race is you talking about feeling put upon. You want to feel feeling like you down and out in Beverly Hills. Yeah, you will feel that 100% in that case because you won't be able to do anything else. Okay. So we've got the now I don't know if this came in right side up or upside down to be honest with you, but I'll look at it both ways and just read it. So the Eight of Pentacles is about refining your work. That's what it is. It's about refining yourself, and in this case the refinement is about digging into this emotional attachment to your wealth and your desire for wealth. That's what the work is. And you need to approach it from a logical standpoint. You need to approach it from, you need to just go in and deal with it one piece at a time. And the first order of business is to be aware of your thoughts and your thought processes around this. So whenever you think in your mind about that thing that you really, really want, I want you to take a moment and say, now, why do I want that? Where does this come from? Where did this desire awaken in me? Is it just from pure inspiration? You know what? This is something I love. I like it. I want to do it. Or if it's like, when I was a kid, I didn't have this and I didn't have that. And I, you start telling the narrative. And your narratives tell the story. That's what a narrative is. It's a story. So your narratives, the things that you say all the time, when I did this, I was determined I was going to do better because of blah, 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 blah. And I want this thing and I got it in my head and I'm going to do it because ain't nobody going to tell me differently. It's like you're not talking about it from joy. You're talking about it from anger or festivity, and you can see it. So that's what you want to think about. Okay. So we got the Lovers card coming up, and to me that goes along with these people. Where's your people? Yeah, this goes along with your connections, because things are, from what I can see in this reading, fire signs, you're on the move. Things are moving in a good way. Let me deal with this light maybe so we can, I don't know. Such a glare here, and these are holographic cards, so that's probably what's going on too. But anyway, the Chariot is telling me that things are on the move. Things are moving in the direction, and also because you got the Seven of Cups, so these opportunities are presenting themselves, and you do have good people that you can connect with. So don't get bogged down with the shadow work. The shadow work is what you're gonna do at home, but when you're out in the public, when you're out, doing your thing or whatever, just remember that you've got these people that you're connecting to that are great connections. Continue to build the bridge in your networks, because you're going to need that. That's why this is here. Continue to build your bridges. And by that, you're building a relationship. Relationships are everything when you are trying to build your wealth portfolio. Whether that is an entrepreneurial effort or whether it's just making the right connections so that people can tell you the tricks of the trade, and that's about relationship building. It's about relationship building. And so a lot of times people, if they like you or if they connect with you well, then they'll tell you little things that they wouldn't tell somebody else, or that you're not going to get off of Google. So you want to nurture those kinds of relationships. And then when it pops up, when that deep desire feeling comes up, when that's, I just gotta have this thing happens, then take that moment to unpack, unwind, and rethink the situation. Okay? So that is your wealth reading. Again, wealth can look like anything, whatever your wealth is. It might be money, it might be friendships, it might be love. You might be looking for wealth and love. It doesn't matter, because we're talking about abundance. We're talking about being able to connect yourself with the abundant nature of the universe and being able to channel that energy in the way that you choose to do it. And how that manifests, what that looks like, is entirely up to you. If you would like to get your own personal wealth reading, you can reach out to me. I'm at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. And as always, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.